custom offsets. We mount.
What's up, everybody? Hello, John Deere. Fluffy says, hi, how are you? I'm doing great. Hope you are. Everybody doing good tonight or this afternoon for a Sunday? Love said, this is my first time being this early to the live. Yeah, I noticed. That's awesome. I'm glad you're here. And here early. I like it. See, John Deere said, yes, doing good. Just posted a new video on this channel. Cool. I'll have to check it out. Thank you. Try to clean up some of my little notes here. A lot of this has to be gone through. I need to go through a bunch of it. Jane says, hi, Pops. Hello. And Jane said, hey, Jacob. Lovey says, how was your day? It was good. Randy, when they finally got here, baby girl run around the whole day on her little walker. She was funny running around the shop. That's the first time she's been on her walker. It was fun to watch her. See, and Carl said, what's up, buddy? How goes it? Going good. Hope it is for you. John Deere said, or Jacob, let's see, Jacob, let me do it like that. Jacob said he's teaching school right now with all the homework he's working on. I know, right? Let's see. Eric said, sends 100 for 2 joules twice. Thank you. Thank you very much. Not for sure exactly what name that is, but I'll say 5692. Thank you. Jane says, hi, Carl. And how, Eric? Is that Eric? Probably, I'm sure I'm butchering it, as somebody would say. Jacob said, what's up, Jane? Lovey says, I have a lot of papers too. The best thing is to do is to put them in a plastic file to keep them tidy. Yeah, well, the problem I've got is I usually keep a paper right here beside of me, and then I write down, like when Jane and everybody helps me pronounce things, I write them out so that I can look at it and say them. And I end up getting more papers with all my scribbling on it. And then, anyway, it gets messy. So, let's see. Lovey said, yeah, that's what Lovey said. Carl says, if socks were currency, how rich would you be? Not too good, because my youngest boy keeps taking mine, so I have to keep buying more. Clark says, hey, again from Scotland, mister. How you doing, Scotland? Elon. Yo, it's been a minute since I've seen you. Yeah, it's been a few. Welcome back. Christopher says, yo, mama, so depressing. Blues singing's coming to visit her when they got writer's block. Yeah. Jane said, hi, Zoe. See, Elon said, what projects are you up on to these days? Well, we just got the lift going. I actually cut the mufflers off of my SS today, and I'm running just catalytic converters to open up the sound a little bit. I'll run it like that a little bit until I can get me a set of headers, and then I'm going to do away with the cats and have headers. I don't know if I'll straight pipe the truck, but I am going to have headers, and I'll do some type of sound, but I'm going to do away with the cats. Not really. Jacob said, hit the like button, guys, please. Yes. Zoe says, bedtime with my dog. Good night, folks. Good night, Zoe. Thanks for stopping in. Do appreciate it. Showing 15 people, 9 thumbs up. If you hadn't, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up for me. I really appreciate it. Love you said again, orange shirt. It's really suits you. It's my friend's favorite color too. Now, normally if you come in here often, you'll see during the weekend when I'm not working my regular railroad job, I will have orange on. Tomorrow I will have yellow. It'll be a safety yellow shirt. Monday through Thursday I will be wearing yellow because that's what I do. As soon as I come in here, I get on my live. Rumple said, hello, Pops. Hello, Rumple. Hope you're doing well. See, Rumple says, hello, Jane. Jane says, hi, Rumple. Rumble says orange shirt and orange truck. That's right. I'm thinking about for the winter buying me a wintertime. Randy and I wear blue full, guess you call them overalls. I'm thinking about buying some orange of those. Just have numbers put on the back like we're in prison. Let's see. Jacob said he's wearing orange so the deer see them on the side of the highway. Joking. Yeah, Larry, the cable guy. Please don't get mad, Lord. No, I wouldn't get mad at you, Jacob. You come in here all the time. You'd have to really say something outlandish for me to get mad. While he's hunting for deer, I meant to put. Oh, you're fine. Yes. Impala. Hello. Impala says, Randy. Hello, Impala. Glad y'all stopping in. Thank y'all. Sorry I didn't do my morning my morning live. Don't know why Randy really wasn't in the mood for it today. I waited around for him to get here. I don't know what was up, but he just wasn't in the mood to do it, so we did not do it. Lovey says, may I ask, what's your job? Is it fixing cars or other things on the side? I am still asking things that don't mind me. No, you're fine, Luffy. My son and I, this is my son's building. My son and I both work for the railroad. I'm a track inspector, and he on the train side drives the trains, stuff like that. This building was bought to do our YouTube channel and work on our own projects. We do sell tires, wheels, and dabble in exhaust, but this building was bought just for the YouTube and stuff like that, our full-time job at the railroad. Let's see. Impala says, hey, Jane. Jane said, how was your cookout, Jay? Kevin sent 100 for 2 joules. Twice. Thank you. Daryl says, hey, all rolling smoke, but have it playing. Well, thank you. That's fine. I appreciate it. I've had to do that plenty of times here lately for you. I do understand. Believe me. Jane said he starts PT tomorrow. Yes, he does. I think his appointment's at, I think he said 11 o'clock. So y'all all put him in the prayers that they tell him he can use them legs tomorrow. Kevin said combined times 3, 100 for 2 joules. Thank you all. Rumple said, who's cooking? He cooked hamburgers today and Chester brought filet mignon steak and a big old ribeye. We got to eat big old ribeye, thick old ribeye, and filet mignon steak, and cook 3 cheeseburgers. So I'll have 3. Well, we cooked 4 cheeseburgers, and I'll have a couple cheeseburgers to eat for lunch this week, or after the live. Jane says, hi, Kevin, and hi, Daryl. Rumpel said, Metal Art, hello. Carmen, hey, Carmen. Carmen says, hey, y'all. Jane says, Impala cooked. Impala says, it was delicious, Jane. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all were probably talking about Impala's cookout. My bad. Jane said, hi, Carmen. Jacob said, what's up, Daryl? Impala said, Mac. Lovey said, may God bless you and very hardworking men. Well, thank you, Luffy. A lot of people come in here and tell us we need to get a job, and we got 3 or 4 of them. We don't really have enough time for anything else, to be honest with you. Let's see what we got. Land says, good evening, bald man. Hope your day has been well. It has. I didn't get as much done today as I wanted, but it's been a great day. It's been beautiful. I've been in short sleeves all day. Last night when I went to bed, it was still nice and it was clear sky. I just about sat outside and just looked up in the sky for about an hour, but I was ready to go to bed, so I just went on. Let's see, Jane says, hi, Lan, welcome. And Paula said, sounds good. Lan said, here's $2. I like your eagle photo. Well, thank you very much. Y'all don't realize just how much that little donation right there helps. I do appreciate it. And Paula said, Lan, is that Lynn? Lan? I know I'm saying it wrong. Carlo said, what's up, y'all? Pops, hello, Carlo. Love says, oh my God, cooking is my favorite thing. I always cook in my family gathering and to my friends too. Awesome, love. Do like to have some good cooking. Randy does a heck of a job at it. Carl says, I am cooking and work at a place that serves ostrich meat. It looks and tastes like a very lean beef sirloin steak. Cool. Rumpel says, what happened to that engine with the wore out bores? Made a table with that, Pops? No. I think we can still use the block. Don't know if we want to put the money into that block because it is a 93 Camaro, and that was the OptiSpark. I don't know if we want to put the money into that and that block or not, but we do plan on using it. The block's still good. Let's see. Paula said, what's up, big boys? Adam said, what's up? Hello, Adam. Lynn says, it's I, like E-N, but N. And Bella says, Grease Spot J. Rumble said, big boys. Jay sends, Ian. How's that? Ian. I'll try to get it right. Adam said, toys. Carlos said, Impala. Jane said, hey, Adam. Adam said, Jane. Jacob said, well, what's up, everybody? I hope you're having a good day. Jane said, hey, Carlo. Carlos says, hello, Rumpel. Jacob says, hi. Ian says, here's an extra $2. First burger is on me. Thank you, man. I tell you what, there's another one. We do appreciate it. Carlos said, what's up, Grease? Jane said, nice, Ian. That's awesome. Carlos said, hello, Jane. Jane said, good job, Pops. Again, thank you, Ian. Rumpel said, I feel like, no matter how I say it, I feel like I'm saying it wrong. I don't know why. Rumble said, what's the topic of discussion today? Right now, it's my poor speech, but we really haven't become up to a good topic. We're talking about the food and everything, but we're always up for a good topic. What you got on your mind? Yeah, and says another $1.99 says the name is irrelevant. Take care. Well, thank you very much. Like I said, I don't want to mispronounce sometimes when my English is bad enough that I do offend some people, and I try not to. I really do. James, if you could only watch one movie for the rest of your life, what movie would you choose? Let's see. I don't know, James. What would everybody else choose? I really don't know. I don't really watch a lot of movies, but it had to be something kind of action, I guess, with cars in it, that's for sure. Lucky says, have you ever had, it's a tradition, Iraqi sweet? No, I have not. I don't know what it is, so, and if it's Iraqi sweet, I have not. I definitely have not. Rumble said, I'm always down for a great conspiracy. Boy, you get me to go down that rabbit hole. You don't want to do that. Nick says, well, hello again. I survived the trip to the kitchen last night. Still got that bob and weave. But did take my wife to dinner. Yeah, I don't think that would have been the way to do it, but I'm glad you got the bob and weave down, Pat. At least if you still went to dinner, your wife's got a sense of humor, and that means a lot. A lot of people would have just plain out got pissed off and wouldn't have went, but I'm glad you got it down, Pat. Thank you for making me smile. Jacob said, I'll watch Transformers, Jane. That's good. That'd be all right. Rumble says, love, actually, it's a mushy movie. John said, hi. Hello, John. Let's make sure we keep it all clean and everything, especially Sunday afternoon and in this weekend off. Jane said, glad your wife didn't take you out, so to speak. Nick says, can't go wrong with Lonesome Dove. Watch that over and over. You know, I don't think I've ever watched Lonesome Dove. Jane says, can't be sad and no animal gets hurt. Yeah, I like a movie that when it touches your heart, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't want to watch it all the time. John said, you threw me out of the bar yesterday. I didn't, but somebody else did. You got to remember, people get offended, and we try to keep it on a positive note. So let's just kind of, we love to have you here. We really do, but some things offend people. Nick says, me too, Jane. She works out. Jane said, John, keep it cool and we won't toss you, lol. I try to, I don't remember what you said or done. I do remember when I saw your name come up, I knew something happened yesterday. And I do try to keep in here a little bit longer as long as people talk. I do not remember what was said or done. I don't, so I apologize for that. But I do try to let it go as long as I can, as long as nobody gets real vulgar. And, I do appreciate you coming back. I don't remember, so I apologize. Wookie says, hello from Northern Ireland. I'll have to write that down too. Northern Ireland. Don't remember if that's been up here or not. I'll put you, we do have a world map if you haven't been in here before, and we'll put a pin in up there for you. Let's see. Nichols said, so did you have a good day, bud? Yes, I did. There we go. I wrote that down, and I'll try to get a pin in there for you. Thank you for coming in. Let's see. James said, welcome, Northern Ireland. And Jacob says, you want a movie to touch your heart and make you cry? Watch the movie Heaven for Real. A Day with Brian said, "What's up, everyone? Hello." John said, "Oh, the school. That's where I think you were pretty much saying I was dumb. I believe that's what it was. And I didn't go. You people in the U.S. didn't go to school, stuff like that. Yeah, I think now, if I'm correct, I think you were kind of throwing off on the Americans. I believe, if I remember correctly." Lucky said, "Do you remember my name?" I do, and I've been trying to dodge around it from saying it because I got it in my head how everybody keeps telling me to say it. And again, I'm afraid I'll pronounce it wrong. A lot of people in my country name boys that name, and also girls, but not a lot. Also, a lot of people mistaking me for a man, but I am a woman. Rumble said, "And no politics and or religion." Ain't that right? Ain't that right, Pops? That's right. We like to keep everything on a up and up. We don't like for things just like Colton right there just had to have something negative to say and something nasty, and that's what we don't want. John says, "But we can change the subject." We can change it. Max said the flag should be upside down. Why would I put the flag upside down? Daryl said, "I changed those shoes today, and it helped. This my hip popped, so praying it's good for the week. A ton of work going on this week. I need to get me a new pair of shoes. I think that's probably why my lower back's hurting too, into my hips." Nick says, "Sent high five for 100 joules. Thank you, Nick." Jacob said, "It's just a movie, Rumpel. Don't start." David Brown said, "I shot." Colton, I don't know why you got deleted for saying hi, but hello. Roland says, whoa, from Beijing, is that Beijing, CN? I know I haven't heard that. Let's see, so if I can do this right here. We will put a pin in the world map for you. Thank you. James says, no, sad movies. Life's too sad for real people to die. Pets die. No sad movies. John said, "I never said you were dumb." I'm just saying that the way it was, if I remember correctly, you were talking about we didn't have schools and stuff like that. You didn't offend me, so I'm just saying I think you were throwing off on stuff like that. Rumpel said, I like sad movies. Wookie says, "If you want to add another pin, I previously lived in the islands of Man for 25 years. My wife and son are Mandix." I'll write it down. Let's see. I don't know what it is, but I'll look it up. Let's see. Unless it's nasty, we don't have to, unless it's nasty, don't delete them or anything. It's, we'll figure out what they're trying to get at. If you think I look like a woman, you need to clean your glasses. See, Daryl said, "I'd be getting new boots this week." Wookie says, "Lived in the Isle of Man." Again, I have no idea what it is, but I'll look it up, I guess. James said, "Where is Isle of Man?" See, James said, "Beijing, China, welcome." Boy, I'm glad you did that, Jane, because I would not have known that was China. Let's see. Olivia said, hi. Hello, Olivia. Roland said, Tang Jing. Let's see. Rumble said, "Isle of Man, ain't that where the famous race takes place?" I have no idea, Rumble. Max says, "So you you support Donica." I don't know who that is, so I don't want to say I support. Justin says, well, hello, T-Mew. Good to hear from you. I hate you're not in the seat beside of me, but welcome. Frank said, "Is it pink?" I don't know. It depends on what you're talking about. Well, you said between Ireland and Great England. Okay. we will have to, let's see, Ireland. There we go. I'll see if I can find it. It'd take me all day if I tried to look now. I'd definitely get behind. A Day with Brian said, Lowell, why did my comment get deleted? I don't see anymore. I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't see your comment get deleted, Brian. I didn't. If it did, I'm sorry. Olivia said, Justin, today isn't the day. Wiki said, what did Justin say to you, Olivia? Let's see. Wiki said 80 miles by boat from Liverpool. It wasn't bad, Lowell. John said, see, that's what I'm talking about. We don't want that. I mean, if you think that's funny, John, it's not. I mean, we don't need to know that your wife did that. Justin said, I just got here, Olivia. Yeah, what did Justin say just by saying, well? Roland said, Island of Man, lonely place. John said, the whole planet stinks. Olivia said, never mind then, sorry. Rumble said, have you seen those bike races racing through country roads and through village and super speeds? Oh, you're talking about bicycles, where they got those man-made ramps and stuff, and it goes, if that's what you're talking about, then people got balls of steel. Because if that's what you're talking about. But I didn't know that's what that place was. Bandit says, look at this sexy pumpkin. Well, hello, thank you. Jane said, Brian, I saw a shot and I didn't want to hear. I saw you shot Bambi's dad. Well, now, Jane, I mean, if it wasn't bad, please don't delete unless he's done something. I didn't see it, Brian, or I don't know. I missed it. Wiki said, it is the Isle of Man TT motorbike race over 100 years old. Cool. Well, David Brown said, Lowell, Jane. Wiki said, sorry, I meant England, not Great England. Okay. Blast says, yeah, screw this as I'm going to scrub the toilet bowl. See, that's what I'm saying. Come on now, let's have a decent conversation. Jay said, hi, Justin. Max, we need to talk a little bit different. Again, we don't talk about politics and we don't talk negative stuff like that. John said, I am Tarzan looking for Jane. Olivia said, hi. Anyways, Justin. Jane said, Brian, didn't get deleted. I didn't delete it. Okay. I don't know what the world's going on. Olivia said, got to go. Night all. Night, Olivia. I hope you get to feeling better. Cray said, you guys do any hunting there? No, we're not hunters. We don't hunt at all. James said, all I saw was shot, but I didn't do anything with it. Okay, I don't know who deleted it then. I didn't see it at all. Nick said, I haven't rode a bike since the banana seat went extinct. Yeah, it's been a while. And Paula said, hey, Olivia. James said, good night, Liv. Rumple said, ghostly later. Vapor says, howdy. Vapor said, howdy. Jane says, Brian, did you say anything more than shot? Wookie said, what part of the states are you in? I am in Denton, North Carolina, United States. Jane, this is Wookie from Ohio. James from Ohio. Vapor said, "How's it going?" It's going great. I guess I could call you Swiss or Vapor. Nick said, "Your moderators are on point. Good job." They normally do a good job. I try not to complain about it. I leave them alone. I just do ask that everything is, make sure it's vulgar or something, because some people want to come in and push buttons just to see if they can get deleted. If they're not nasty or anything, I let them go to see. We've had some people keep coming back and because we didn't delete them. But like I said, if it's vulgar or nasty or where they keep going, they normally do a good job at it. Jane said, "Hi, Swiss Vape." Jacob said, "I was talking to you last night, Randy, within my text disappeared after texting you through the live chat." Huh. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Swiss. Okay, I'll call you Swiss. James said, "Thanks, Nickel. We try to have a great time." Jacob said, "Weird, yeah." John said, "My favorite pet is a large spider. You can have that spider. I don't care nothing for them." Michelle said, "What type of American are you? One that's alive?" I am an American. I don't know what you mean, what type of an American. To me, an American is an American, and that's pretty much the end of it. I don't like to separate them either. Either you're American or you're not, but I'm an American. That's what type of person I am. Swiss said, "I'm a mess. My dad passed away Monday morning. Didn't wake up. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. Our prayers go out to you, buddy." Jane said, "On the other hand, Brian got an 8-point buck." Nick said, "Reminds me of friends sitting around the fire having a good time. Y'all really enjoy it." That's what I like too, Nick. We all come in here and try to enjoy things and have a good time. That's what we all shoot for. A good, clean, respectful. Everybody respect everybody. Daryl says, "I didn't do it." So that's what I'm saying. I never even seen his name show up. So I don't know what's going on. Jane says, "Swiss, I'm sorry to hear that." Michael said, Interested answering. Okay. Nick said, "Sorry, Swiss. I know that's tough." Again, Riz Law, let's come on now. You see everybody's talking a little bit different, trying to have a good time. Let's have a good time. If you're just here to cause trouble, find another channel, please. Swish said, "Praying." Cran says, "One advice you'd give to yourself, younger self, to make yourself happy." That's exactly what I try to tell everybody. Make yourself happy. I wished I'd have done that years ago. And I want to make everybody else happy if I can. Don't get me wrong, but I should have worried about me. I should have done what makes me happy. And if people didn't want to be around me when I'm happy, then I shouldn't have worried about everybody else. But you shouldn't have to change what makes you happy for somebody else. Jane said, "Hi, Haran." I'm sure I said that wrong too, but Jacob said, "Wow, we don't talk politics." John says, "Going to the holidays, so we leave my beloved spider at James." All right, that's a good idea. Ron says, "Hello, Jane." Jane says, "John, that's fine. I like spiders." Jane says, "Sister had a pet tarantula." Yo, crazy. Well, Wookie said, "Aaron takes more chances." Fisher's Jack says, "It can honestly be very hard to be happy at times." This is true. That's why you need to make sure you're happy. Now, when I'm me saying that, don't think I don't get in a crappy mood. It happens to me all the time. Kind of got that way the last couple of nights. that's what I said last night. I just about sat out there and looked up at the stars and just sit there. But I was tired and I went to bed. But it is. Try not to get into your own mind because your mind can really mess with you. So think positive thoughts and do the best you can. That's what I try to say. And like I said, if you want to do something, do it. Make yourself happy. Jane said, younger self, eat more salads. I know what you're doing, Jane. And Pala said, fact, 100. Nick said, so how long do you have to know you before I can call you Pop too? Everybody, it's something that Grandma Vic started. And they call me Pops. Olivia called me Pops. I'll answer to them. It does not bother me. I do appreciate it. Look, like I said, when people come in here, I like for everybody to have a good time. You're welcome to call me Pop. Jacob said, I hate snakes and spiders. Keep them away from me. I'm with you there, Jacob. Wookie said, celebrate the times you happy because the life goes throws plenty of curveballs. That's right, Wookie. If you have not seen some of the stuff on our channel, back about 4 months ago, we cut a tree and it fell on my son, and he's been in a wheelchair ever since. He's not been able to walk since then. He actually goes tomorrow and to see if they're going to let him out of the chair. Well, he starts physical therapy tomorrow to get out of the chair. We get to see how it goes tomorrow and exactly what the next week or two looks like. So life can change in a few seconds. If you got a second or a minute or two, look back through and look up, what did I call it? Near-death experience of little Randy. That shows the whole video. And then he did one, life changed in 7 seconds, just showing the clip of where the tree fell on him. James said, Jacob, I like some snakes, corn snakes, and to be specific, I know I said that wrong, but I said it right in my head, James. Jacob said, hit the like button, guys. Yes, well, there's 20 of them. I do appreciate it. James said, it's easier calling him Pop because he's Randy and his son is Randy. Yes, I should have explained that too, Jane. Thank you for explaining that. That is correct. I'm Randy Jr. and he's Randy the third. So they call me Pops and him Randy, or me R2 and him R3. So we answered about anything. Jacob says, we all got nicknames. I have no problem with it if somebody calls me a nickname. And Bella says, how's Randy Jr. been doing? He's been doing good. He gets down and out, but he's kind of nervous and scared for tomorrow. Like I said, we find out tomorrow if they're going to exactly what happens. He goes for his initial confrontation on, for the physical therapy. I'm kind of hoping they let him stand up tomorrow to see exactly what kind of strength he's got in his midsection. Wookie said, fingers crossed for y'all. Thank you. Swiss says, it's harder every day passing. We both are veterans, so I gave him a proper military farewell. It was tough. I can only imagine. My mom passed away not quite 2 years ago, and we wasn't that close, but I always had the option to call my mama and talk to her, even though we didn't talk a lot. And now I no longer have that option. So that really changes the feeling when you start thinking about it. So I do understand. Nick says, wow, hope he gets good report. Me too, Nick. Jane says, Swiss, thank you for your service. I'm glad your dad got a proper send-off. That goes for I'm sure me and everybody else in the chat want to tell him thank both of y'all for y'all's service. Paul says, pray all goes well. Yes, thank you. Jacob says, sorry for saying it. I pray for you, Randy's son. No, you're fine. Thank you. Jane says, we don't call either Randy. Oh, it's Pops and R3. Swish said he turned 74 years old on October the 11th. Awesome. Like I said, I'm sorry he's He's gone, but may he rest in peace. Pal said, thanks for explaining, Jane. Jane said, Swiss, he was Vietnam vet. That was a tough conflict to come home from. Matt said, good afternoon. Hello, Matt. Hope you're doing well. Jane says, hi, Matt, and welcome. Let's see, Three Wheeler said, FYI, we're all up in David's stream, but I'll keep checking in. Well, thank you. Matt said, I have 155 subs on my channel now. Let's see, are we on your sub channel? We are not. I'm sorry, you got 156 now. Everybody jump over there and give Matt Owen a sub. He's trying to get his sub count up. Jane said, Max, David is live too? Question mark. Swiss said he served in Nam and Cambodian. Three Wheeler said, yep. Let's see. Troll, you had, hi. Here you have one of the gave me the aid because right now I'm the hole and is itching and burning and you have. Come on now. You know damn well that's not the way of it. And this is in a, you're in the wrong live, buddy. Find somewhere else. Matt said, thank you. Jacob said, my parents are divorced because my mom stole money from my dad and me, but I forgive her. Just don't trust her after all that. But I still love my mom. Medicine drove her crazy. I miss her. Had a crazy life. Yes, and that's they'll always be your parents no matter what. And you know, that's about all I can say. Matt said, do you like my picture? Yes. I mean, from what I can see, let's see, I did click on it to give you United States Army. Yes. If that's the one if you're talking about your profile picture, yes, I do like it. See, Nick says, we'll be staying in Havelock, North Carolina when we go see our Marines. Love to take y'all out to eat. How's your bob and weave? Well, we might be a little rusty, but we'll make sure we bob and weave along. Matt said, yep. Jane said, oh, I'm too old to bob and weave. $12 people in here, 22 thumbs up. Thank y'all. I do appreciate the thumbs up. Matt said, I just updated to 157. Well, awesome. Maybe some more people will go in there and give you some more thumbs up. I do appreciate you coming in to talking to all of us. Jane said that she subbed. I mean, it don't cost nothing, so like to help our fellow YouTubers out. Matt said thank you. Nick says, it's easy, Jane, for me. Just shift my weight right or left, and it goes faster than she can catch. Whoop, 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 whoop. Matt says, we are making a new video game on Roblox. Randy and them have to, I don't play games, so they play on those game stuff. I have no idea what it is. Jane said, Lowell, Nick, if I shift too far, I'll fall over. Jacob said, Graham posted a video right now, Grandma V's birthday. Oh, well, I guess we better tell her happy birthday, hadn't we? Nick said, then just play like you're asleep. There you go. Matt said it's called an electrical background. Mental background. Jacob said hi. Jane said, Lord, don't possum roll over and do that. Yeah, right in the middle of the road for the car to still run over him. Boop, boop. Nick said, perfect, Jane. Jane said I could stand and stare deer in the headlights. That gets next to Randy when I do that. I just stare at him with a blank look. What are you looking at me for? Lotus says, hello, hello. What's this all about? We're just waiting on you, Lotus. Welcome. Jacob said, what's up, Lotus? And Bella said, Lotus, Jane said, Lotus, do you know how to bob and weave? Lotus said, what up, Jay? Let's see, the party can start. That's right. Lotus is in the house. Jane, you know dang well Lotus can bob and weave. He can bob and weave better than any of us out here. Matt says, do you like SpongeBob? SpongeBob SquarePants? Who don't like SpongeBob? Lotus says, yep, I can juke and jive too. Nick said, look up things to do in Havelock. Must be rule. Just mentioned a Fort Macon site. Mike said, evening. Hello, Mike. Hope all is well. You need to get Beth out there on that at that building. As good as y'all did on ours, y'all have y'all's looking spick and span in a heartbeat. Jane said, sit down, Lotus. I know you can't dance. Jacob said, man, Vito posted a video. It's Grandma's birthday. Jane said, hi, Mike. Lotus said, what's up, American? Daryl says, dang nabbit, I'm always telling you, everyone to hit the like button, and I've been here since the start and just now hit it. I've done it, Daryl. Believe me, I've done it. Mike said, hi, Jane. Wookie says, where are you from, Lotus? Lotus is in Ohio. And Paula says, Long Ranch Garage. Jane said, Lowell. Lotus said, Ohio. Wookie said, cool. Mike said, Daryl and Lotus. Jane said, Daryl, I do that all the time. Sometimes I have to go back and make sure I hit it. Mike said, hi, Jay. Lotus said, oh, I thought we were boxing, Jane. Who was it? Said something about they took their wife wanted them to take him somewhere new for outbeat. He took him to the kitchen last night. So he said his duck and weave was doing good. Rumpel said, Long Ranch, hello. Jacob said, hit the like button, guys. What's up, Long Ranch Garage? Mike said, hi, Wookie. Wookie said, hey. Lotus said, what's up, Rump? Carlos said, what's up, Mike? Lotus said, what's up, Long? Still got all the digits? Rumpel said, Lotus, hello. Wookie said, as a kid, I actually lived in I guess that's supposed to be U.S. See, Jane said, nowhere trying not to get hit by the Nichols' wife. Nick's wife. Carlos said, what's up, Lotus? Lotus said, what's up, Carlo? And Paolo said, gotta run. And guys, have a great evening. Thanks, Paolo. I appreciate you stopping in. You have a good night. Well, you said as a U.S. There you go. That's what I thought. Troll says, I have a question for you. If you'll keep it decent, I'll answer it. If it's some crazy stuff, I'm going to ignore it. But if it's an honest question that you've got, I'll be glad to try to hit it. See, Mike said, hello, Rumpel, which says USA and Arkansas. Now, see, that's the stupid stuff. That's what I'm getting at. I don't know you. You're in here trying to cause stupid crap. Trying not to delete people, but you're fixing to get it. So go on about your business. You're in the wrong channel, buddy. James says, take care. Jay Lotus says, Nick's wife can be worse than Olivia. James says, I dodge that all the time. Wookie said, in the 80s. James said, Troll, stop being stupid. Let's see. Nick said she would never hit a lady. Jane been married so long. Think my name is Duck Dummy. Let's see. Jane said Wookie, Metallark, Custom Lotus, and I are in Ohio. Mike said Wookie, are you from Arkansas? I think he said he used to live there. Gee. Uh-oh. Did I just freeze? Nope, it's back on. Let's see, Long says, hi, Jesus. Carlos said, hello, Jesus. Jesus says, hey, Mike. Wookie says, no, I am British, English, but live in Northern Ireland. James said, hi, Jordan. Sorry about your game the other night. How bad did you lose? Mike said, okay, my bad. Jesus said, hey, toys. Jane, oh, I bet it's beautiful there, Wookie. Mike said, Carlo, whoop. $19 people, 26 thumbs up. Thank you. Frizzle said, did you hear about those immigrants that were forcibly giving top? I don't watch it. Don't know what you're talking about. We don't talk about stuff like that. Nick said, would love to visit Ireland. Yeah, that'd be nice. Carlos said, Mike. Jesus said, this mistake was from our selfies and corners screwed us up. James said, oh man, Jordan, ouch. Let's see, Wookie said, better the England. Wookie said, better than England. I thought that's what you meant. She says, sucks. The thing is, we're not even a bad team. Just some were disciplined, finished 10-2. Well, it's still good. I mean, Jason, well, that was a good record. It sucks that this is your senior year. Lotus says, are we talking about the sports ball? No, we're talking about Jesus' last game. I don't guess it was called the sports ball. We were hoping Jesus would go all the way. James said Jordan's last football game. They were in the playoffs. We were all hoping they would do well and go all the way. Lotus said, oh. Jane said, Howard Kiss. Oh, I mean, Kessel? Howard Kessel. See, Three Wheelers said, FYI, you're about to get a big wave of people in here. Uh-oh. Jane said, Pops? Oh, what to do, Jane? Jesus said, well, the seniors had an impact on the since the freshman year. First year was 0 to 10. New coach came. Sophomores year had been ever since this as it leaving. Sophomore year was 3-7. Junior year was 5-5. Now 10-2. Cool. Nick said those last games stay with you a while, but 10-2 was very good. Congrats on that session. That's what I was saying. Y'all played good to get that far, so keep your head up. There's nothing bad about it. You did a good job. James said, David, going off? Jesus said, so my class really helped bring it up and been through the good and bad. Well, that's good that you were part of the whole bringing it up. So that's awesome. Joseph said, hi, your Pakistan viewer is here. 1 out of 3 papers done, 2 left, and all my past mistakes would be neglected. Well, thank you. Rumple said, drowsy with sleep today, Pops. We'll catch a few winks. Catch you later. All right, Rumple, thanks for stopping in. I'd always love to hear from you. Hope you rest well. Joseph said, I'm Drake. Changed my name to Joseph. Jacob said, hi, I'm from Tennessee, everybody. Hornby Man said, I can only stay a minute. Well, thank you for dropping in. Hit that like button for me. Three Wheeler said, here comes the wave. Jane said, Joseph, what papers are you writing? Jane says, hi, Hornby. I feel like I'm fixing to get busy. Jacob said, yeah, you freeze for a second. Sorry. Joseph said, FSC exams. $28 thumbs up, 17 people. Thank y'all. James said FSC. Hornby Man said, best thing about pancakes is it's maple syrup. Yes. Mike said, Three Wheeler, hi. Gary says, NDP, hello. Hello, Gary. Joseph said, Randy, genius question. When do you change your shirt? I change it every day. I've got several of these where when I'm not at work, I wear an orange shirt every day. And when I'm at work, you'll see me in yellow. James said, hi, Gary. I take 2 showers a day. One when I get up in the morning, one before I go to bed. I change clothes every day. Lotus said, hello, Gary. Three Wheeler says, hey again, LWG. Joseph said, FSC is Pakistani education after mathematics. Mike said, Hornby, you're 100 correct. You're correct, 100. Lotus said, what's up, Three Wheeler? Gary said, hi, Jane. Hornby Man says, if you had to choose between a holiday in France or a big tub of ice cream, what would you choose? You know me, I'm going to take ice cream, but I would like to go to France. Gary said, hello, Lotus. Jane said, green. Three Wheeler said, hey, again, Lotus. Mike said, hello, Gary, how are you? Lotus said, France. Gary said, I'm fine, LWG, and how are you? Lotus said, yeah, it's okay, 5 a.m. for me in Pakistan, gotta sleep. Wish me luck, everyone, for my exams. Good luck on your exams, and I hope all is well. Joe said, it's very IMP in Pakistan. Nick says, I'll take the tub of ice cream, no spoon. Mike says, good, but a sleepy day for me. James said, take care, Joseph. $30 thumbs up, 14 people, thank y'all. Reaper, meow. Hello, Reaper. How's your trip going? Jacob said, bark. Hornby said the worst thing about getting up in the morning and making toast. Jane says, Lord, no spoon. I want to watch how it goes. Lotus says, if I can make it all the way to France, maybe nobody here can make me do stuff. Jane said, hi, Reaper. Reaper said, I'm doing good. Lotus said, what's up, Reaper? Meow. Mike said, Jane, he'll have it ear to ear. Yep. Now, T-Mew coming here, and Olivia jumped on him for whatever reason, and they're both out of here now. Daggone it. Lotus said, work stuff. Let's see. Reaper said, Annabelle says, hi. Hello, Annabelle. Hornby said, what do you like on your toast? Like butter, but it depends on what I'm eating it with. If I'm eating it just toast, I'll take grape jelly. James said, right, Mike, unless it melts, then chocolate milk. Lotus said, hey, I get to play box truck tire guy tomorrow. All right. Reaper sends marshmallow high for 100 joules. Well, thank you, Reaper. James said, peanut butter and honey on toast. I ain't never tried the honey on my toast, huh? Let's see. Is that Sebastian? Is that said right? Did you expect to see a Brazilian in the comments? Hey, we see people all over the world. We got a world map. We will put you up on there. Let me. I'll put the Brazilian down. Brazil. If that's where you're from, I will be glad to put a pin in it. We got people all over the world. Jacob's laughing. Jane said, hi, Sebastian. We've had a number of Brazilians in here. Jane said, welcome. Mike said, hello, Sebastian. Reaper says, got me a nice rental. Awesome. What'd you get? See, Jacob said, I live in Tennessee where Smoky Mountains are near a couple of miles. Lotus said, did you rent a Honda? We said, last time I went to the States, I couldn't find Aunt Jemima syrup, maple syrup anywhere. Do they not make that anymore? If it is it the political correct thing, or was it unlucky not to find? I think I'm not 100% sure because I don't follow all that BS crap, but I think they made them quit putting it in that bottle, and the man changed the name. I don't know, but there was some politics on that stupid crap. Hornby says, be careful in the U.S. police. They have guns. Yes, they do. Lotus said, duh. Gary says, I live on an island. Three-wheeler says, I heard Honda. Daryl said, Tanya surprised me today with treats. Awesome. Lotus says, Aunt got canceled. Daryl said, I'll post a pic in community. Cool. Jane said, Wookie, they got rid of Aunt Jamaican syrup. Yes, that's, like I said, I didn't know if it was still out there or they just had to do some, rename it or something. Reaper said, got me a GTR. No, you didn't. Say it ain't so. You better get a picture of it and put it in the, you better be getting some good pictures and put it in the community. James, or I'm going to say you didn't even go. Be like another tell about Bigfoot. I'm just playing. Jane said, "What treats, Daryl, keep the chat clean?" Jacob said, "Yeah, they did over the politics bull crap about the syrup sucks. You can't get any." Yeah, it's people. Let me just say this on a nice way, and not really getting into politics, but people are stupid. If that bottle of maple syrup offends you, I'm sorry, you're stupid. But anyway, let's go on something else. Jacob said, "Canada." Reaver said, "I've been having to deal with Annabelle brother." Mike said, "American, have you ever heard of a small town called Greenback, Tennessee?" Lotus said, "Did you have to tune him up, Reaper?" Let's see. Jane said, "Oh, what's going on with Brother Reaper? What's going on with brother-in-law Reaper? Y'all got to get along." Let's see. Hornby said 3 things you like about the U.S. I mean, I like being here. I mean, I've never been anywhere else, so I don't know what else to judge it against. I mean, I know that they tax me to death, but I'm free to do whatever I want to do within laws, you know. But I don't really know 3 things right off my bat. I mean, you can do anything. You can be whatever you want to be. You're the only thing that holds you back. Reaver says, "Tonight I think I'm going to go to one of them races." Cool. Jacob said, "No, Long Ranch." Lotus said, "What races?" Reaver said, "Annabelle's brother." Jacob said, "Dang it, I meant Long Ranch." Lone Ranch. Carlos said, "What is the best whiskey you can buy in the USA?" I have no idea. I don't know. I've heard Pug talking about some real high dollar whiskey, but I have no idea what a guy at work, they fool around with that high dollar stuff, but I have no idea what the best is. Jane said, "What are you talking about, Reaper?" Lotus said, "The stuff made in the mountains, Carlo." Carl said, "Ever heard of the town in Florida named Coon Bottom?" I have not. Lotus said, "Moonshine." Reaper said, I've been having to deal with Annabelle's brother." Well, that's what I think they asked. What's her brother doing? I mean, they ought to be happy that you brought her home. I mean, to see everybody. Jacob says, "You have to try most Smoky Mountain moonshine and check it out sometime, Big Boy Toys." Long Ridge says, "I lived there in the 90s. You could step out my door and see the Smokies just a few miles away." Cool. See, I was born and raised right here. I've really never ventured out. So when y'all talk about living in different places, going to different places, I think it's phenomenal. I love to see different things. That's the reason I ask people to post stuff in the community so I can see different parts of the world. I think it's wild. Carlos says, "Okay, Lotus, the homemade stuff." Well, you said one of the great things about being in the island or Ireland is the whiskey. Jake said, "Mike, and smell that corn mash brewing. Carlos said, "Okay, American Bandstand." See, Matt says, "I'm back." Hello, thank you. Welcome back, Matt. Thank you for coming. JBO Germany says, "Hi, hello." What kind of car you got there? Oh, a little Suzuki Sidekick. I give you a subscriber there, Germany. Matt says, can you make me a mod? I'm going to hold off on making mods right now. Keep coming in and we'll see. I like everybody being a mod, but I gotta get these people where I understand everybody. Thanks for wanting to be a part of it though. Please keep coming in. I don't mind it. We redone some structure a while back and I've not got back into where I like everybody blue myself. But just kind of like making sure everybody's going right. Let's see. Carlos says, I love whiskey. Carlos says, best whiskey I've ever had came from the glass can jar. Jacob said, what's up, Germany? I'm going on a trip to Germany soon for 2 weeks. James said, Lotus. Lotus says, can you make me a mod? I've been coming in forever. Lotus says, and I pray. Germany says, trip to Germany where? Matt says, are you in the army before? No, I did not serve. That picture was in the building when Randy bought it, and we like it, and we left it up. We got several in the building in different places that he had, and we just leave them up. We like them. Let's see. Lotus says, you see this star beside my name? I do. And Jacob said, Berlin. Hornbias says, you are a very nice person and funny. Well, thank you. Lotus said, I'm a superstar. That's right, Lotus, you are. Jane says, are you a sheriff, Lotus? Is that what your star means? Mike says, Jane, I was working EMS then, and they didn't issue badges because the local authorities, anyone who had a badge was a Fed. At least that was the reason they gave me. Wookie said, some great rock music from Germany. Lotus said, never. Germany said, Berlin. We say here in Germany, I have no idea what that is. Say, Hornby said, I have given you a thumbs up. Well, thank you. I do appreciate it. We've got 33 of them is what I'm showing and 12 people in here. I do appreciate all the thumbs up, and I appreciate y'all coming in here talking. I was listening to one of them. One of them was playing out there on the TV and one of our videos. And I must have been having a rough day that day because I don't know if I would have sat there and listened. So I do appreciate y'all sticking with me on those rough days. Carlos said, Sheriff Lotus? Yeah, he's got a star beside his name. Lotus said, no. Jacob said, Germany, you have to say that in plain English. I don't understand. I didn't either. Germany said, Berlin's worth a visit. Lotus said, I'm not Reaper. I'm not a sheriff. I don't talk to Bigfoot. I don't jump up coyotes. And what was the other one? Oh, and I don't know any skinwalkers. Lotus said, I show videos on my stuff. See, Jacob said, okay, but we're going there anyway, already paid for. Jason Lotus, are you sure you're not Reaper? I thought I saw Bigfoot in the passenger seat of your car the other day. Lotus says, I would love to see Berlin. The architecture is awesome. I know I didn't say that right. See, Germany says autocorrect is F in Germany and English. Autocorrect does us bad too. Not even about my bad reading. Jane said he was waiting for your car to get stuck so he could jump out and push. Lotus said, so what? I can't hang out with the Bigfoot. Yeah, if you want to. Daryl said, I haven't set it up yet, but I think tonight's premiere is 43 minutes. Let's see, Carlos said, that Baja was ripping, Lotus, but the tune seemed a little bit off to me. Classic Car said, I made it. Well, thank you, Classic Car. I think it's David, I believe. Thank you for coming in. Mike said, Jane, I did get to drink some of their local local moonshine. Gary said, hello, Classic. Jane said, hi, David. Lotus said, tune wasn't bad. The idle screw needed to set down a bit, but the cover I had was too big to get to it. The screwdriver he had was too big to get to it. Jacob said, Berlin is a green city, lots of parks and trees. Classic Cars sent Floating Heart for 10 jewels. Thank you, David. I do appreciate it. Lotus said, and the pile fell off halfway. Daryl said, David. Carlos said, okay, I see. That's why, Lotus. Jacob said, I'm sure makes plenty of videos and pictures you'll see of Germany and other places when we're only staying a week in Berlin and somewhere else. I don't know, but I hope we have fun anyways. You will. Jane said, Mike, I've tasted some local beverages, but just not much into whiskey. These days I fall over all by myself. Don't need help. Jane's body outruns her feet. Carlos said, be right back. Daryl said, Berlin is beautiful. Lotus, he must have really pissed Olivia off. She won't even answer text. What did he say? He didn't say nothing. Justin just come in and said, well. And she jumped to shit. Started telling him today ain't the day, and he didn't even speak to her that I know of. Let's see. James said, it's Carlo morning ritual. Carlo's morning, yeah. Woody said, moonshine here, it's called Porton. James said, Olivia had a rough day. Well, I'm sorry, but Justin just saying, well, wasn't really speaking to her. If I know what was going on, it probably wasn't even Justin. Lotus said all she was doing is searching for parts. Well, if you're going to be in a bad attitude, I guess it's good just to stay out. See, Mike said, I believe you can legally make 6 gallons of spirits a year. You just can't sell it. See, James said, yeah, I missed Justin for a minute. Lol. Then he realized he was here, said hi, he was gone. Yeah, I mean, he said, well, and she told him that today wasn't the day, and he said, I just got here. And she said, oh, sorry, and then she left, and he never come back either, so whatever. James said, 6 gallons, I'd be in trouble. When you drink 6 gallons, you might have a problem. Jacob said, hit the like button, everyone. Well, we got 36 of them, so people's been doing some hitting them. I appreciate it. We've had a few trolls in tonight, but it's been a pretty good night. A lot of different people has come in. Lotus said, is whatever she's stressed out today. I hate it for her, but Dennis said, "Good evening, everyone." Hello, Dennis. Jason Law, my son's friend makes some good apple cinnamon stovetop moonshine. Jeremy says, in Berlin you have to try O'Donnell's moonshine. James said, "Hi, Dennis." Hello, Dennis. How are you? Wookie said the UK in gallon is about 20% larger than the US gallon. Oh, really? That's weird. That's what I've never understood about the different money and stuff like that. Me 1122, I've never understood that a dollar should be a dollar. It really, to me, it doesn't matter what money structure it is. One should be one and end the story, but I don't understand all of it. Wookie said, random trivia. James said, what was Daryl's treat? Did we hear? I didn't. I mean, he said something about it in a picture of the community, but I didn't see it. Oh, I haven't looked yet. See, Lowe's said, he said he would post it in his community. Hello? Lowe's said, Pops, sleep on the Volvo burnout. Yes. I got to do a little tune-up on my car. Glad I got the lift going. I got the transmission. The shifter was loose, if I didn't tell y'all. So we got the shifter fixed on the Fireball, so that's a positive. Jeremy said, old Donald's moonshine comes in original mason jars by myself, Hurts Nurse, Hard Nut. It's the best moonshine. Daryl said, I just put it in the post. I've been busy. Wookie said, okay, it's late here, so I will wish you a good evening. Like and sub, by the way. Well, thank you, Wookie. I do appreciate you coming in. I throwed you a sub right back. I appreciate it. Others said, sweet, did you look at the Vivo car at all? I have not. I moved it, everything on top of the hill, trying to get caught up with all the stuff we've been putting off since the lift has been off. And I did clean up a little bit today where we had a little bit of a mess. And I'm hoping during Thanksgiving I get a little bit more done. I was wanting to get my car ready. There is an event. The last event is this weekend, the 22nd, I believe. But I don't see me being able to make it. because I'm not going to go with my power steering unit hanging down. So I'm probably just going to miss it and start again next year. Lotus said, later, Wookie. Carlos said, showing me asleep with my Volvo. Troy, you ask that question all the time. I've told you the answer. We kind of pick and cut up about it, but this is not the channel to do that kind of mess. Lotus says, do you guys have a borescope camera on a wire? I do not. Let's see. Carlos, a member for 3 months. Silly little YouTube. Woohoo! 3 months member. Thank you, Carlo. I do appreciate it. I know that some people don't believe in it, but I do appreciate your contributing to the channel. We are saving up, doing something, trying to do something good with the money, and it'll all be for everything that comes in goes right back into this building or our plans for this building. Every dollar that comes in, we're taking it from, it's going into a savings account for something here. We're not taking any money, putting it in our pocket. Daryl said, I was the second member. That's right. Daryl's been here from the beginning, him and Pug. See, Jeremy said, my car is broke, but it still runs on 3 cylinders, broken valves, seat rings. Ooh, that's not good. Beautiful says, with your future projects, mate. Good luck with your future projects, mate. Well, thank you. We got a bunch of them. If Randy goes to walking tomorrow, I'll give him, it's not that I give him a little bit of time, and he'll be moving around without that stupid wheelchair, and we'll be able to get some stuff going. Jane said, Pug, yeah, parked up garage. Jonathan. The Mr. Famous for one-liners. He don't get to come into our live often. He's a busy man. I do have to go see him. I'm going to get Randy out of that chair, and I'm going to go show Randy his place. I haven't got to see it yet since he got it 99% complete. Jeremy said, Audi A3 with an easy-to-get engine. See, Daryl said, okay, I was wrong. It's 44 minutes long. Really said, hello, going to the stream to remind everybody that you're loved, your kids, and you're smart. You mean the world to someone. Love, peace, and happiness. Well, thank you. Same right back at you. I do appreciate the comment and you coming in and joining. If you got a minute, feel like it, hit the like button, subscribe. I appreciate it. Jane said, thank you, Rarity. How kind. Yes, that's very nice of you. Jesus said, I needed that. Rarity like, done. Thank you. Cut 21 says, it's pretty awesome how eagles choose their mate. Rarity said, my pleasure. Like I said, we really appreciate it. Thank you for coming in. Lotus said, thanks, really. That's a rarity nowadays. Rarity nowadays. Jesus says, LOL, yeah. We are living proof that it can be taken from you in just a second. Especially your kid. I said, but matter of fact, I think I said your kid. It was your kind. I'm sorry. Let's see. And this is a place for everybody to love, and everybody in here means the world to everybody pretty much. Let's see. Crystal said hi. Hello, Crystal. Nick said, anyone watch The Landman? New season starts tonight. No, I've never heard of it. Jane said, hi, Crystal. I like it, Daryl. That's all right. Whoops. Uh-oh, I knocked something down. Jane said, Nick, I haven't seen it. What's it about? Germany says, so we learned today, enjoy every moment of your life together with your family and friends. That's exactly right, Germany, because you never know. You're not promised the next minute. It can be taken away from you in just seconds. So live life to the fullest. Make yourself happy. And also remember, 1,000-mile journey starts with the first step. You can't get finished till you get started. So step out there and enjoy yourself. And be happy and be safe. Jacob said, hi, all. Daryl's laughing. I was too, of course. Jesus said, going to head off. I'm tired. Take care. Love you all. Jesus, we all think the same way about you. Love you. And be careful. Have a good night. Sleep well. I said Jacob. I mean, it's Jordan. I call him Jesus. Jacob's next. See you, Jesus. Daryl said, Jordan. Germany said, I don't know what that is. Let me see if I can translate it. No, it's not going to translate. Okay. Anyway, James said, JBO, and be kind to each other. Also, the toes we step on today may be connected to the ass that you have to kiss tomorrow. Don't kiss no ass. We ain't doing that. But I do understand what you're talking about. I always used it as the fingers you step on to climb that ladder may be the hand that you have to grab a hold of to get you out of a hole tomorrow. So don't step on them. They may be sore. Nick said, Billy Bob Thornton plays in it. It's about life in the oil field in Texas. Jesus said, you too. Jane said, take care of Jordan. Jesus says, hey, Mello. Jesus, thank you, Jane, and you too. Lotus says, I like Billy. Billy Bob, never heard of the show, though. Jane said, I like Billy Bob. Jacob said, who's Billy Bob? Jane said, seize the day. Okay. Is that what that means, Jane? Thank you. Nick says, thank you, Jane. You will like it. Lotus said, he said the same thing. It means seize the day. Thank you, Lotus and Jane. See, Lotus says, without worrying about tomorrow. Amen. I like it. Thank y'all. Man, I get 2 more thumbs up. I'll be hitting 40. Awesome. Do appreciate it. So it's been a pretty good live tonight. See, Jeremy said autocorrect still doesn't work properly. Wants to change it to Carpenter, damn it. Jacob said, hi. Hello. Jacob laughing. Antonio, quick question. Do you like Novas? Yes, I'm not. I like all old cars now, but back in my younger days, I never cared for the Novas. But I do like them now because they are just, they're just older vehicles. I always liked the Chevelle over the Novas, but I do like the Novas. Jane said, Lol, JBO, capitalized denim, it won't change it. Antonio said, thank you. Otis said, I like Novas. Now, I didn't like it when they remade them, in the 80s? It was a little bitty car. I didn't like those. They didn't last, they didn't stay out very long. But I like the old ones, yes. Murder Nova, yeah, that's pretty bad. I like it. Jane said, brother had a 69 Nova passed down from my grandma. Cool. Daryl says, I had a 72 Nova SS Black in the day. I never had one and never drove or rode in one, but my cousin was in one. I think it was at 106 mile an hour. It left the road on a little hilltop, and when it come down, they hit a culvert head on, and it flipped 6 times end over end. They all lived, but still. But I never rode in one or drove one. Lotus said, yeah, in the 80s, Nova was BS. Yes, it was. Antonio said, do you like drag racing? Yes, I do like it. I was 56 before I ever took a car down the drag strip, but I have done it now, and I do enjoy it. I plan on doing a little bit more, too. Lotus said, killed in an ironic car line. Lotus said, yes, sir. James said, the older Novas, as with all cars, were the best. Yes, Jane, they were. Daryl said, first engine I ever built went into a Nova. That video on of you making the tunnel, the trans tunnel was on today. It was playing today. You know, I had it where it plays on different channels and everything. And that was on. Yeah, I'm showing 40 likes, Daryl. That's awesome. Thank y'all. Antonio said car. Oh, wait a minute. I missed one. What's your favorite kind to see hit the track? Well, I like, if you're talking about the cars on, I like a 69 Camaro. That I kind of like those cars, which I like all the old cars. I don't necessarily like the real, funny cars and stuff like that. Real fast cars. I like to see what you see out on the road and stuff like that. Daryl said on 10 cent. Yes, I was watching. One video was showing you making the motor mounts on it, and then that one was sitting there watching you roll the trans cover. Nick said, know where a 69 Dodge Charger is? Just sitting in a field. I get teared in my eye when I see it. Would love to have it. Yes, I'd love to have it too, and probably 98% of the people in this chat would love to have it. Antonio said, Antonio said, yeah, I am 100% subscribed. We're going to get along. Well, thank you. Give you one right back. We do this every day at 6 p.m. Eastern time. See, said Daryl, so real cars, not tubbing and fake bodies. That's right. That's the one thing I don't watch Cletus as much as I used to, but he's got big, and that's awesome. But I'm not much into those the funny car stuff, and when he just done the body on Leroy, that kind of changed it for me, because Leroy was awesome to me. But anyway. Germany said, a quick comment on U.S. engines here in Germany is the Chevy 350 in all its variations. It's quite common here. We're going to a lot to the LS stuff now, the 5.3, 6.0, 4.8, which I was just seeing the other day. I think next year or two, all those are going to be discontinued and going with the back to the 5.7 and the 6.6. And then I'll say, which is better, turbo or supercharger or a blower? That depends on your preference. I've heard the turbo's harder on the engines. I like a supercharger. I wanted to go to a Pro Charger on my truck, and I'm not for sure which one I'm going to do, whether I'm going to do supercharger or a Pro Charger. And the blowers are cool. I don't know what the blower to me is kind of like a supercharger too. But Lotus said turbo. Lotus said Leroy is still awesome. Yes, it is. It's just Leroy now is a car that we really, as people can't really have now with the body and stuff like that. It was still like a car that we could do if we wanted to. Not near as fast. Don't get me wrong. We don't have that kind of money, or I don't. But still, with the body, it just took a different path for me. Daryl says, old school all the way, blower. Lotus said, Leroy the Salvage, yes. Daryl says, the LT is taking over. Antonio said, more Mac, good choice, man. Daryl says, I'd love to get a blower for my burnout car. I hope we all can get them things to going and start meeting up. I'd like to get our life going back, and the same way with a couple of y'all other ones. I'd like to meet up at a couple of these places and see if we can do it as a group. Daryl said car. Oh, I see Burnout Cat. I'm sorry. Burnout car, I know what you mean. Lotus said Leroy is basically a pro mod with the body. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm not into the pro mod. Don't really like them. It's fiberglass bodies and stuff like that. Rich said, hey, hello, Rich. Jane said, hi, Rich. Daryl says, that would be a blast. Lotus, I didn't see your cat do anything burnouts. Now, that's a million view right there. Shot cat does burnouts. That's right. Rich said, hi. And then he said, my uncle got a Top Fuel AM in the garage with him now. We're getting our hands dirty. Cool. If you understand how to do it, I don't. My kid, Randy does, and some people here. But if you've got a picture of it, you're welcome to post it in our community. I'd love to see it. Lakers says, happy Sunday, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome, Lakers. Germany said, turbo, less power loss, supercharged, no turbo lag. I kind of say it's tit for tat. I mean, there's good and bad in both of them. The supercharger takes power off your engine where the turbo comes off the exhaust. So there's ways around both of them. I feel I'm not a expert, but each its own. And Tony said, of course, I got you. Everything all right? Do what? Sorry about that, everybody. Something was going on outside. I had to see what it was. Let's see. Let me get caught up here. Let's see, Daryl said, I'm going to smoke before it starts. See you soon. All right, Daryl. Yeah, I'm sure you're gone by now. Let's see. Lowe said, turbo gives you better tuning control, too. Antonio says, question mark. Lotus says, Supercharger makes all the boost all the time. Antonio says, true. I'm sorry, I had to step out there real quick. There had a couple cars stopped right out here in front of the shop. Evidently, there's somebody walking a marathon or something across, and they're kind of blocking traffic for them. I think it's kind of crazy to be walking at 10 minutes till 8 in the dark, but hey, good luck to them is what I told them. Lotus said, was it okay? Yeah. Lotus said, dope deal. Well, that's what I was thinking. That's the reason I went out there. A couple cars still didn't make sense because the cars was on the right, and the two people was walking on the left, so didn't make sense to me. Let's see. Did you lock the door? Yes, Jane. The door is locked. I got my gunshot now. Everything sounds like it's, yes, cameras are on. See, he's walking America, came through Sydney in the summer and went to the coast, now going back. It might be it. But I think it's weird and at dark like this, but hey. Let's see. See, cameras on. Yes. Were they wearing numbers? It was two people walking. The person in front of them was not, but the person in the back looked like they had walking sticks, about like in the snow or something. But they looked like they had something on their chest. Let's see. Antonio says we have a problem with the Top Fuel, ladies and gentlemen. Jane said I was going to tell you to grab pew pew. Samuel says, hi, everyone. Respect from London. Welcome, Samuel. Samuel says, good evening, brother. Good evening, Samuel. Jane said, hi, Samuel. Mike said, Carolina crackheads. Lotus said, don't tell me they're a problem with the nitro. I was watching one of Cletus's shows, and they were doing that nitro again. I think Lotus had said something about it in one of the other lives we were in. But, you know, when I hear nitro, I think of, you know, you push a button and it's the gas. But there was a liquid nitro, like what, nitromethane or whatever, and he was mixing some into a pickup truck, and they were making fun, but just like saying that was 20%. I wonder what it would be if I had a gallon of it and mixed it to about 5 gallons of gas for my Camaro. I wonder if it'd blow it up. Let's see. Mike said, hi, Samuel. Jeremy said, race fuel. Yes, that's what I was talking about. It's the race fuel. I didn't realize that it was called the same. When somebody says nitro to me, I think of the push button on the dash where it's the gas in the bottle, compressed gas. Let's see. Antonio says we put a new blower in her and went to test it. Everything was fine. She had too much power in her and couldn't handle it. New blower is pop. That don't sound good. We haven't quite got to where we're running that type of stuff yet, but I would like to get a little bit more. Let's see, NOS or nitrous oxide. Nitrous is what I guess. Maybe I know Lotus knows what I'm talking about, whether I'm explaining it good or not. I know we got NOS in a tank that goes in a bottle, not a tank, in a bottle. It's compressed air, and then you got nitro fuel, which comes in a can and you pour it. Antonio says, and in other words, it exploded. I kind of thought that's what you meant. That's not good. James said, Lotus, did you take away a like? I'm showing 41. So right now, I mean, somebody might take one away, but I'm showing 41. Lotus might have left because usually he will help me out when I'm talking about stuff like that. See, Nick said, North Carolina got lots of drag strips and dirt tracks up there. It's a good dirt track. They got several, yes. We actually got in Charlotte, we got I think it's the only 4-lane drag strip where they got 4 lanes running at one time. James says, mine's showing 39. Mike said, his showing 41. I'm showing 41. Mike said, good night, everyone. Good night, Mike. I'll be in here in about 6 minutes. You have a good night. Thank you for stopping in. Germany said, knock, knock. Who's there? Your Pistons. Tony said, find out what's wrong. My uncle thought he shifted to 7th, which is the final gear. But it was 6 and he didn't shift, so it exploded. Oh, that's not good. Yes, Jane, we've done it. LOL, right. There's a rod. we've done it. It didn't cost me near as much as what it just cost them. I promise you that. James said, very costly screw up. Yes. And Tony said, there goes $12,000. See, whoo, man, I hate to hear that. Jeremy said, yes, I heard about the new throwaway rods. Carlos said, ouch, way too much. James said, I'd be crying in my beer. Well, wouldn't do no good, but it would definitely not be good. I can tell you that. Like I said, we didn't have $900 tied up in our car, and when I threw the rod out the bottom, wasn't nothing I could do about it. But we got it back up to going, and I still don't have a whole lot of money tied up in it. Jane said, "Man, do they look at tack before shifting?" You got to realize, Jane, that kind of speeds, they don't have very much time to be doing anything. Let's see. Nick said, give me an old style motor to work on any day. The new stuff is ridiculous. Wife's battery, you have to take the front off just to get to the battery. Yes. I think my wife's Camaro, her battery's in the trunk from the factory. Antonio said everything in the back is this in pieces of missing. Ooh. Henlong said, hello to Jane baby and all. Hello, Henlong, Craig. Jane said, hey, Craig baby. Germany says, my old supercharged Benz blows apart, broken timing chain. Ouch. Craig said, must be a Dodge journey. Antonio says, I am going to cry, I swear. Well, I do understand. Jane said, what car has the battery under the passenger seat? I think some of the, Hanlon says the Jeep Cherokee does. I'm thinking there was a van that did it, because Cletus had one. I'm about sure you lifted up the passenger seat and the battery was under there. Let's see, Jane said, Antonio, I'd cry too. There's some Mercedes-Benz Class A and B, or Benz A and B class. American Volkswagens has a battery under the seats in the back. Said Jacob. Nick said, night all, 4 a.m. here soon. Yes, I'm going to have to be doing it here in just a minute. That way everybody can go over to Daryl. I don't think I'd want battery in the car itself. If you've ever seen one explode, you definitely don't want it inside. Jane said, take care, Nick. Craig said, the Jeep Cherokee doesn't even let you lift the seat. Antonio says, can't blame my uncle. You got to shift hella fast because how fast it goes. Yeah, if you blink, you're done. Jeremy said, Mercedes-Benz E-Class 210 battery under the back seat. All right, everybody. It's getting time for Daryl's premiere. Everybody jump over to Metal Art Customs and finish the conversations and the talk and everything. I'm going to go out here and check on some things, and then I'll click in myself. So y'all have a good day, good night. All the new people that come in, thank y'all for coming in. We do this every day at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Be glad to have you back. I did enjoy everybody coming in and talking. Y'all have a good day, good night whenever you're watching this, and remember, keep it silly. Thank you.